So there are two types of people in the world. There are the people who sit back and watch things happen. And then there are people who take action and make things happen. And there was a young female who was made queen who had to decide which type of person she was going to be. Was she going to sit back and watch as her people were murdered, or was she going to take action, take a stand, and do something about it? And before she made her decision, her uncle came to her and said, "If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. But who knows if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this." And for those of you who know Queen Esther's story, you know that she took a stand, you know that she put herself in danger, but she ended up saving her people. And I bring this story up because history tends to repeat itself. And if you keep quiet at a time like this, knowing what you know, other people will suffer because of it. And there are some people in this room that for you guys, if you guys are actually going to take action, God has put certain passions in your heart and he places certain people in your path. And for some of you guys, it's pediatrics with vaccines. For other of you guys, it's athletes with concussions. And for me, God called me to the Dream Center where I take a stand for those people with addiction. And addiction is an epidemic that is sweeping our nation. It is not just street drugs. This is coming from prescribed pain pills. And 4 out of 5 heroin addicts, this is how they started, from pain pills. And 46 people every single day will die because of an opioid overdose. And it is not just affecting the people that take it, it's affecting their families, and more importantly, it's affecting the next generation. And this, to me, is absolutely unacceptable because a baby every 25 minutes is being born with withdrawals, and they have no choice in that fact. So to me, this is absolutely unacceptable, but this is a definite reality of what I see all the time. I mean, it was a reality for Isaiah. Isaiah was born to Nicole. Nicole's addiction started when she was 9 years old. She started with weed, alcohol, pain pills, which quickly escalated to meth. She found herself in a very, very abusive relationship, and he ended up becoming her pimp. And she got pregnant with her first child and lost her first child because she could not get clean. Then she got pregnant with Isaiah, and she wanted to get clean, but she couldn't get away from her pimp. He actually ended up kicking her in the stomach. And she used meth pretty much throughout her entire pregnancy. As you can see here, he was born a preemie. He was born at 2 pounds, 14 ounces. He was having withdrawals. He had multiple brain bleeds. He had inflammation and swelling everywhere. He is literally a miracle. He was not supposed to live. And he became Nicole's why to get clean. And today, actually, May 5th, marks her 4-year anniversary of being clean and sober. And in just a few weeks, Isaiah will be 4 years old. And this is Isaiah. And if you guys watch our social media, you will see a lot of videos of him because he is one of my little best buds. He loves to come in. He loves to help adjust. He practices on his minions that he brings in. But Nicole needed a place, a safe haven, to raise her son and to get away from her pimp, and so she ended up coming to the Dream Center. She got fantastic changes. She had a negative 11-degree arc of life. She had severe degeneration in her lower cervical, and within 14 adjustments, her arc of life went from a negative 11 to a 41. But she needed a safe place to be able to raise her son, and this is the Dream Center. This is actually kind of only half of it, a part of it. But the Dream Center is a 15-story hospital that anywhere from 700 to 900 people live at a time, and they're in some sort of program. And they're in a rehab program, they're in the human sex trafficking program, they're in the veterans program, they're in the family floor program, and they don't have to worry about paying bills, about the roof over their head, about where the food's coming from. All they have to do is focus on getting clean and kind of transitioning into the next part of their life once they do that. And so that's why Nicole was there. This place is all about healing, hope, and restoration. And that's exactly what Joe Jacobs came in for. And that's exactly what he got, and that still is what he's getting because it's a process. So Joe Jacobs did the rehab program. It's a year program. It is very strict and is very difficult. There are multiple men and women who have come from prison to this program, and they say prison's a piece of cake. It's a walk in the park compared to this program. And 3 months before he graduated his year program, he came to me and he said, Dr. April, he's like, I just got diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. And he goes, I sat through your Cancer Killers class, thanks to Dr. Majors, and he said, I know that my body can heal. I know that God can do a miracle. I don't want to do chemo and radiation because I would have to leave the program, and I want to finish what I started. He's like, so tell me, what do I do? And so, first of all, we got him on special privileges. The rehab program comes in and gets adjusted twice a week. So he got special privileges to come in every single day. Thanks to some doctors in this room, we got him on supplements. I worked with the kitchen staff to change his diet as much as he possibly could. And then the last thing that I told him was, I was like, if you have any unforgiveness, if you have any burden or bitterness towards anybody that you're holding on to, your body can't heal and you have to let it go. And it wasn't until 3 months when he graduated that I actually heard his testimony. And I was completely blown away by what this man has gone through. He has literally been to hell and back on earth. At age 4, his mother started molesting him. At age 8, he's an only child. At age 8, he was walking down the street with his parents. They were getting ready to cross the street. A car pulled up. A woman got out with a gun and shot both of his parents in the head, and he watched them die. And he had blood spatter all over him. And if that wasn't enough, he got thrown into the foster care system, which he went to 26 different homes where he was repeatedly physically abused and sexually abused. The worst being he had a tire iron. He was assaulted with a tire iron up his rectum, and he had to lose 5 feet of his colon, and he had to use a colostomy bag for about 7 years. And then on top of that, he ran away after that from all of the foster care system. He lived on the streets, and he met what ended up being a call girl, and she ended up eventually pimping him out. And then he did 25 years in prison for heroin and cocaine. When he came to the Dream Center, he wanted what he said was a heart transplant. He wanted to see life a different way through different eyes and perspective. And that is what he's got. He's graduated here. The year program, he actually decided to stay a second year, and he is now an RA, so he's mentoring the first year program people who are coming through. And he's learning how to receive love and give love because he's never had that before. He's also, a month after this picture, I believe, he was cancer-free, 100%. 0 chemo radiation. But if he can go through what he went through, and he's 50 years old and he decided to make a change in his life, anybody can do it. You guys can do it. Your patients can do it. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how old you are. It doesn't matter. But sometimes it takes going to rock bottom in order to realize and want it enough to do it. And sometimes it takes a scare with death, which is what happened with Evan. So Evan was 41 years old. He had a massive heart attack last year. And literally between the time that the paramedics picked him up and he went to the hospital, he died 8 times. He should not be alive. He was in a coma for over a week, and doctors said if he wakes up, he will definitely have some neurological damage. We don't know what it's going to look like. Evan's saving grace was his brother. I don't know if he's here, Dr. Mike, but he is a Maximize Living doctor, and he flew from Indiana to LA to take care of his brother. But obviously he has a practice back home and a family back home. So the beautiful thing about being in a room of people like this is that you can call on somebody else and you know what type of care they're going to get. And so he called me and I started seeing him in the hospital as well. And this is a week later in the office. He is 100% functioning, 0 neurological deficits. He is loving life, and he is probably one of the most committed patients to the supplements and to getting adjusted. He does not miss an adjustment because it literally saved his life. And it's like BJ Palmer says, with an 8, we are alive. Without an 8, we are dead. And if there's only a portion of an 8 at work, we are sick. And he was sick, and so was Rachel when I met Rachel. This was over a year and a half ago. I was actually traveling back from a Maximized Living seminar here in Orlando. And for those of you guys who have ever done the East Coast to West Coast, that trip can kind of be brutal. And so it was Sunday evening when my friend Caitlin picked me up, and all I wanted to do was go home, unpack, go to sleep. But the first thing she said when she got in the car, or when I got in the car, was Rachel got admitted to the hospital on Thursday. She's had seizures, so many, she had 20 in one day. They're either tonight or tomorrow morning, they're going to put her in a medical-induced coma. Doctors say if they do that, they don't know if she'll wake up, and if she does, she will probably have some sort of brain damage. She's like, will you come and see if you can help? So I'm not going to lie, there's a little part of me that was like, man, I just want to go to sleep. But I was like, yeah, let's go, let's see what I can do. So literally, when I walked in the room, within 1 to 2 minutes, she had a seizure, and it was almost kind of like a reaction. I just went and I adjusted her atlas real quick, and immediately the seizure stopped. And something kind of came over me, and I just told her verbally out loud, which she doesn't remember it because she was completely sedated. She couldn't move her head. She couldn't open her eyes. But Caitlin heard it. I said, you're going to walk out of here on Friday, right? And inside, I was like, why did I say that? That's a really bold statement to say. But between Monday and Friday, I literally went morning, noon, and night every single day and adjusted her, prayed over her, and verbally said out loud, you're going to walk out of here on Friday. You're going to walk out of here on Friday. And guess what happened Friday? She walked out of there. But she reached out to me. She's actually from England. She moved back to England soon after that. She reached out to me not too long ago, and she emailed me, and I wanted to read you guys what she said. So she said, I've received all of my medical notes from when I was in the hospital, and I'm completely overwhelmed by the amount that went on. I really do want to thank you for walking that journey with me, for being there when I was so vulnerable, for watching and fighting me as I lay there unable to do it for myself. I want to let you know that my life today is so completely different, and all glory to God. Things I thought were impossible, God has made or is making possible. I have been seizure-free and medication-free for over 19 months. I just got offered a job promotion. I've ran multiple 10Ks. I run on a weekly basis, and I'm more active than I've ever been. I also got engaged back in August, and I'm getting married in less than 5 months. I honestly can't thank you enough for supporting me through what you did. Over a year ago, my life was upside down, and I had no hope. Today, I walk in the grace and the love of Jesus Christ. And there's a couple things I want to point out about that. Number one is that adjusting and removing subluxation isn't just about the seizures going away. It's literally about life transformations. Her life is completely different. She would have been brain dead or possibly dead. So chiropractic absolutely saved her life, and her life has transformed because of it. And so first of all, I want to thank everybody here who has donated to the foundation, who has supported us, because the stories that I just told you, their lives wouldn't be changed without you guys, because you guys help us make that possible. The second thing that I want to say is that there are Rachels, there are Joes, there are Evans in your town that are waiting for you to take a stand for them because they can't do it for themselves. And if you decide to keep quiet at a time like this, knowing what you know, they will suffer because of it. And so I want you guys today, this weekend, to make that decision. What type of person are you going to be? Are you going to be the person who sits back and watches things happen? Or are you going to be the person who takes action and make it happen? Because you were created for such a time as this.
What's up, guys? My name is Mike Lindstedt. I'm 29 years old. I've been living at the Dream Center for over a year now.
My name is Enoch Ford. I'm 53 years old, and I've struggled with drugs all of my life.
One of the things I was most suffering with, besides any personal issues or addictions, was I suffered from severe headaches.
And I didn't want to go to the emergency room again and get a shot of cortisone.
I actually died 8 times on the way to the hospital and was in a coma for an entire week after that, where they didn't think I was going to come out of it, let alone make any kind of recovery.
I was homeless, living on the street. I was physically addicted to alcohol to the point that I was having seizures if I didn't drink in the morning. I was prescribed over 8 different psychotropic and narcotic medications, and on top of all that, I was doing street drugs.
So I came down here for chiropractic care and just thought, you know, why not? I need it. It has now been October, November, December, January, February, March. What?
An Uber driver dropped me off in the parking lot, and it has changed my life.
Dr. April helped me greatly. She said, give me 2 weeks. And I thought, oh my goodness, 2 weeks, there's no way. And I've had headaches a long time. And sure enough, within 2 weeks, believe it or not, my headaches subsided.
In the last 6 months, not only am I walking better, I didn't end up in the emergency room.
It's just been a miraculous recovery. Within 6 weeks, all my organs went back to normal, and my brain didn't suffer any kind of damage. And I've just been making amazing strides ever since, and I'm still here and healthy and vertical to share my testimony.
It's just been a total treat. It's been absolutely amazing to be able to receive chiropractic care for free. I had never received it before coming to the Dream Center, and I can tell you that my life, just by receiving the care from Dr. April, has just been dramatically affected physically and also spiritually while being here at the Dream Center.
So I really thank God for Maximize Living, for just allowing, you know, this program, this to be available to us.
But I know now it's only a matter of time before I'm going to be able to do everything.
And I just want to thank Dr. April, Dr. Mike Wasserstrom, and of course I want to thank Maximize Living for all they've done for me to give me not only my life back, but quality of life and then some.
So I thank you guys for what you're doing. Just please keep doing it, and thank you guys so much.